Welcome to Curious Verse. Every day, without thinking, you touch it. You wear it. You eat from it. And sometimes, you even apply it to your skin. It looks harmless, feels modern. But what if I told you it's quietly poisoning your body and rewriting the balance of nature itself? For decades, we believed we had mastered convenience. From non-stick pans to waterproof jackets, from flawless makeup to fast food wrappers, we celebrated innovation without ever reading the fine print. But deep inside these everyday miracles lies one of the most dangerous inventions humanity has ever created. Not a virus, not a weapon, something far more subtle and permanent. This isn't a story about a chemical. It's about a choice, a lie we bought, a comfort we embraced without knowing the cost. These substances are now in our soil, our rivers, our food, and yes, even in our blood. Hidden history? Bizarre discovery? Or one of those mind-blowing facts you wish you never knew? In the next few minutes, we'll uncover how this strange fact escaped laboratories and ended up in polar bears, newborn babies, and maybe you. This is the dark history of something you use every day, and the shocking truth is just getting started. Have you ever heard of forever chemicals? It's not the name of a new Marvel villain, but real compounds that surround your daily life, even if you've never noticed. PFAS are a group of synthetic substances used since the 1940s. They're the essence of what feels like impossible technology. They resist water, grease, and heat, and they don't break down. You'll find them in non-stick pans, waterproof clothing, makeup, firefighting foam, fast food packaging, and unfortunately, in your blood. These compounds became famous for one thing: the carbon-fluorine bond, one of the strongest in organic chemistry. Sounds like a lab thing, but it means this: once they're in the environment, they stay, like unwanted guests who never leave. Science calls them persistent. We call them a problem, a big one. Today, PFAS are already in the soil, the water, breast milk, and even in Arctic rain. In a planet full of real science, this may be one of the most mind-blowing facts. Everything began as a promise of innovation. In rural West Virginia, a DuPont factory was breaking production records using a type of PFAS called PFOA or C8. But while Teflon pans were being mass-produced, a crucial detail went unnoticed by the public. Tons of these compounds were being dumped into the environment. The soil, the rivers, the air, and even the city's drinking water in Parkersburg were slowly invaded. And no one knew. Or worse, those who knew said nothing. A dark history was unfolding in silence. This became one of the greatest unsolved mysteries in industrial chemistry, until internal documents leaked. What looked like just another corporate story revealed contamination levels so extreme that even the government had to step in. DuPont was hit with a wave of lawsuits, and years later, 3M was forced to pay nearly $1 billion for contaminating groundwater with other PFAS variants. Bizarre discoveries began to surface, and suddenly, people realized the danger wasn't hidden anymore. It was flowing straight from their faucet. You could be living in the middle of nowhere drinking spring water thinking you're safe, but you're not. The truth is simple: PFAS are already in almost all of us. Recent studies have found traces of these substances in the blood of humans all over the world. From city workers to isolated indigenous people, no one was spared. Even rainwater in the Arctic and Tibet, once considered among the purest on Earth, is now this is real science. But it feels like science fiction. In breast milk, deep-sea fish, your rice pot, even polar bears. The shocking truths keep piling up. Why? Because these substances have a dark superpower. They bioaccumulate. Translation? They stick in the body and move up the food chain. A small fish absorbs it, a bigger fish eats the small one, a human eats the big one. The result? Levels rise. And the higher you are on the food chain, the more PFAS you carry. But how did this happen? How did a chemical compound designed to make life easier infiltrate us in silence? The answer lies in something you don't see, but use every day. The answer is hidden in the details we ignore, in ordinary products, in harmless habits. And that's where the real danger lives. When they say PFAS are in our blood, it's not a figure of speech. It's literal. And the most disturbing part? They don't come alone. They bring a suitcase full of side effects science is only beginning to understand. PFAS have been linked to rare cancers, like kidney and testicular, and to silent diseases like high cholesterol, thyroid disorders, liver and kidney damage, and low immunity. The list is long. These are the creepy facts no one wants to read on a shampoo label. In Parkersburg, the symbol city of chemical tragedy, more than 69,000 people had their blood tested, and the findings were jaw-dropping. A clear connection between PFAS exposure and 6 serious diseases. It was no longer theory, it was evidence. And if you think this is just an American issue, think again. A volunteer study in Japan found that PFAS may be linked to infertility and low birth weight. Science is no longer whispering. Derek Muller, from the YouTube channel Veritasium, decided to test his own body. The result? PFAS levels well above what's considered safe. A shock and a warning. Because if even someone informed is exposed like this, what about the rest of us? If contamination is already in our bodies, what is it doing while we live, eat, breathe, dream? Maybe the most terrifying thing about PFAS isn't what we know, it's what we still don't. If PFAS already cause so much harm inside our bodies, imagine what they're doing outside. Nature, the one place many still believe is untouchable, is being silently poisoned. Aquatic animals like fish, dolphins, and orcas are showing alarming levels of contamination. In some cases, scientists found concentrations so extreme, they defy logic. It's like watching a sequence of shocking truths written by a dark history screenwriter, but this isn't fiction. It's happening. Everywhere. Forests, lakes, food chains, everything is being rewritten by this invisible chapter of our hidden history. And the longer it goes on, the harder it becomes to reverse the damage. While humans try to fix what they've done, nature keeps paying the price. No voice, no defense, no break. And the question that echoes louder every day is, do we still have time to fight back, or are we already too late? After decades of silence, something has finally begun to move. The U.S. Environmental Protection Agency took a bold step by setting strict limits on PFAS in drinking water. It was like turning on a flashlight in the dark, a first attempt to stop the bleeding. But the problem is, the monster is already loose, and it doesn't respect borders. In Europe, the response was even more radical. The European Union proposed banning all PFAS considered non-essential, a brave move, yes, but it raises a new question. What is truly essential? While governments attempt to regulate, scientists are racing against time. Across the globe, laboratories are developing techniques to break down these substances, attempting to shatter the powerful carbon-fluorine bond that once seemed unbreakable. Some tests using extreme heat, special solvents, and chemical bases have shown promising results. It's a real science mission that feels like something out of a sci-fi movie, but the battle is far from over. The challenge remains immense. For now, we only have attempts, slow progress, fragmented efforts. It's as if we're trying to patch a sinking ship while it's already going down. Still, pressure is growing, and when governments, researchers, and everyday consumers join forces, change always finds a way. But there's still one invisible enemy in our path, one that constantly evolves, adapting to survive. And while we fight to remove it from our world, it keeps finding new ways to stay in it. Even with new laws and cutting-edge research, PFAS are still among us. And that's no accident. Industries have learned how to cheat the system by creating slightly altered versions of these chemicals. One atom here, one structure there, and suddenly, it's a new formula. Unregulated, invisible to the law. A chemical loop that keeps slipping through, like a modern unsolved mystery, where every answer opens another question. The name changes, the danger stays the same. And if that weren't enough, many imported products still carry these substances, buried in tiny labels. A waterproof jacket made overseas, a long-lasting lipstick bought online, a frozen pizza wrapped in grease-resistant packaging. It all seems harmless, but each item holds a piece of the invisible cycle. This is the definition of bizarre discoveries. The more we learn, the more surrounded we feel. And the worst part? Most of us have no idea. You may not have caused this problem, but you can absolutely be part of the solution. And it doesn't start with a politician or a lab. It starts at home. Test your water. There are reliable kits online, often backed by real science. If you find contamination, use filters certified by global agencies. Activated carbon. Reverse osmosis. It may sound small, but it makes a huge difference. Especially in the long run, because protecting your body starts with what enters it. At the store or pharmacy, read the labels with new eyes. Words like fluoro, PTFE, or perfluoro usually mean PFAS. Avoiding them? That's informed rebellion. Instead of 24-hour makeup, choose natural options. And that ultra-waterproof jacket? Maybe you don't need it, unless you're climbing Everest. Because sometimes, protection doesn't come from a coating, it comes from knowledge. And that kind of awareness? That's what big industries fear the most. But the real power? It's in the collective. Sign petitions, share the facts, demand answers from the brands you trust. Change never starts with polluters. It starts with people who stop accepting pollution as normal. Every voice that rises is one more crack in the invisible chemical cycle. And in a world filled with mysterious events, maybe you'll be part of the one that finally breaks the chain. If you've made it this far, thank you. It means you care. It means you see. And maybe, just maybe, it means there's still time. Curious Verse is here to uncover the truths hidden in plain sight. From dark history to unsolved mysteries, from shocking facts to real science. If this story moved you, please like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who still believes they're safe. Together, we expose what others ignore. Together, we prepare, and if you've watched all the way through, maybe this isn't just another YouTube video. Maybe this is your wake-up call.